Hey, welcome everybody to another episode of Coachescall Sharp Lines and Stacking Dimes. This is our college football pick'em, week 11. I'm starting to get sad. Number one, Christmas is around the corner, but then we only have a few weeks left of Saturday football. And anyway, I don't want to be sad. I don't want to cry. So we're going to move on. We had a huge week last week. We talked about it on the recap. Um, we're going to pick them out. We've got certain games. We've got a few games that are really important. We're just going to start off with the TCU Texas game. Before that, my bad. I've got my boy Tony Capo in New York with us, and Tristan Dunn. Of course, everybody knows Tristan. Everybody loves Tristan. He's a TikTok famous. He's amazing on YouTube. He's such a pretty face. Everybody loves him. Them some Tristan. Thank you guys for being on. I appreciate this. We talked about, last week was a big week. Most of what we thought was going to happen happened. Some big upset, but we got some shakeups. We got shakeups all over the place. There's Sit Dog finally joining us. Sit Dog is with us now. Thank you, Sit, for being here. Let's go ahead and start with the big game of the week. This is the big one. And I'm going to let Tony lead it off because, he's a homer and all this stuff. But we got TCU, number 4 TCU. They're 9-0. They're going to Texas. And this is college game day. So from what I heard, it's not only college game day, but they've got something like 20 recruits coming in, and it's also parents' night. So it should be loud. It should be good. It's going to be cold. But Texas is giving 7 points. A number 18 team that's 6-3 is giving 7 points to the number 4 team in the nation. That's 9-0 TCU. Tony, who you got in this one?
I love my Longhorns. They're very bad in the secondary. They're 104th in passing yards allowed, 92nd in both first and third down conversion. Defense, 92nd in both. TCU doesn't turn the ball over. Texas doesn't force turnovers. Now, don't get me wrong either. TCU's defense isn't good either. Texas has covered 5 of their last 6 home games, but the Horned Frogs have covered 4 of the last 5 in Texas. They've won 7 of the last 10 overall. 3 of those 7 wins were outright as dogs, and 2 of them were road dogs. I've smelt a rat in the house 3 times so far this season, and I went 3-0 in those games. I smell one here too. But I'm riding TCU. I buy the hook for safety, but I want to hear if Quentin Johnson is playing first. If he doesn't play, I'm going to stay away. If he is, TCU, sprinkle the money line.
Gotcha. Sit Dog, what do you got on this TCU Texas game? This is the big one here, buddy.
Well, it's not too big for me. Texas at night, TCU. They haven't beat anybody all year. They haven't beat a good quarterback all year. As a matter of fact, I put it on the Discord the other day. They've only beaten – well, actually, I don't think – if you take out Spencer Rattler – or not Spencer Rattler, the kid from Oklahoma State, he had a hurt shoulder. They haven't beat a healthy quarterback yet. No. It's a game. It's at night. It's at Texas. I mean, throw out all the other stuff. Texas wins. This is the end of TCU. Period. Tristan, don't look into it too deep.
Oh, okay. I like that. Tristan, what do you think? I mean, you watch it.
Yeah, I got it pulled up here on my phone. I'm on TCU. TCU is 6-1 or 7-1 against the spread. Or 6-1-1, something like that. Texas is 6-3. I get it. Texas is at home, but there's one thing that I feel like TCU can do from what I've watched is they can freaking score. So I really like the over in this game.
Well, it's at 64.5. It's going to be cold. We got the cold front coming in tonight here in Texas, by the way. And I live about 30 minutes.
It gets cold there?
Well, I mean, if you call 68 degrees cold, yeah, it gets cold. But we do have a cold front coming in. But no, it's supposed to get like 35 degrees at night for some reason. Anyway, I live about 30 minutes from South Austin here, and it's coming in. We don't know if we're going to get rain with the cold. Turf field. I think Texas wins this game, because I'm with Sit Dog. I think this is just the perfect storm. I think Texas wins this game, but I think TCU covers. It's going to be a late.
3 points.
I like the 64.5, the over, even in the rain and all that stuff. If this game is under 40, Texas is going to win. I got Texas, but TCU is going to cover. I just don't. TCU is just not the team for me. I don't think they're the team of destiny. They're moving in the right direction, but I don't think so. Alabama going to Mississippi. 2:30 game. Ole Miss. Alabama after a tough loss. Now, I do want to say this. Here's the difference between TCU and Alabama to me. And I do want to hear what Sit Dog, what you have to say, and Tony, what you have to say about this. The difference between TCU being 9-0 and number 4 in the nation, Alabama being 7-2, number 9 in the nation, are 2 plays for each. Alabama could have easily won those 2 losses, and TCU could have easily lost 2 also. So that's the difference. Everybody's down. Oh, Alabama's down. The rain is over. Blah blah blah. I don't think so. It's 2 plays against good teams. Those things happen. Saying that, Alabama going to Mississippi. What's the line on that? Gosh, I don't even have the line on it.
11.5.
What is
11.5, sir.
11.5. Sid Dog, what do you think about this Alabama Mississippi game, bud?
I think that it's the only thing that concerns me here is Alabama can't. You go to Alabama to win championships, and now that's kind of taken out of the picture. The committee agrees with everything you said, Rick, because look where they're ranked. They're still in the top 10. Kid misses a field goal, and a gutsy 2-point conversion.
Yeah. Great job too. I love that.
Yeah, and I mean, but that's what analytics is bringing to college football now. Is if you're the underdog, then why wait around for somebody to beat you?
Yeah.
Go for 2. And it was a great call. Unfortunately for Alabama.
And Sid Dog, would you agree with this? If they hadn't made the 2-point conversion and loss, I still think it's a great call.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Okay.
I've been on the Brian Kelly thing. I know me and you. I said this is a good coach.
Yeah.
When you're a coach and you're considered to be everything that you do is you overachieve and that's what as a coach, that's what you want to do. You want to overachieve. So what did Brian Kelly come to LSU and do this year?
No.
Overachieve.
Yeah. And we're going to talk about him here in a little bit because he is. I love what he's doing. What do you got? You think this is a hangover game for Alabama? What do you think on the 11.5? What do you got?
I think Alabama's defense has issues, and they have Will Anderson. They don't have much else. Their defense has, as I've said before, Kirby Smart, when he left, their defense and those players that they got have started going to Georgia. So this is a game to me that's tricky because Lane Kiffin, playing the Joker here, would love to get this win. It's a pass for me, and I hate to say it, guys. I just don't really have an opinion on it.
Okay. Tony, what do you got, bud?
Ole Miss has been growing on me every week. That freshman Judkins, he's an absolute animal. Yeah. He fucking runs through people, takes it inside, outside. He can do a lot. And then they got that kid Evans. I think he's a good complement piece to him. I think Dart is their problem. He's decent, but he turns the ball over too much. I think his decision making is not as sharp as it needs to be to contend. Bama owns them though. They've won 8 of the last 10, and they've covered the last 5 after a straight up loss. But they're 3-7 against the spread the last 10 in Ole Miss. Ole Miss here coming off a bye. I think they'll be ready. Give me Ole Miss plus 11.5.
I like Ole Miss minus 11.5 because this is the first time in about 10 years that I've heard this. Every interview, that I've heard Nick Saban talk about. He talks about you have to have the will to do the right thing. You have to want to do the thing. It's all mental. And it seems like he can't get these guys to, that's the problem right now. I think physically he's got them there. Mentally he's got a problem because all of his interviews say that. So, and I'm with you. I like, Lane Kiffin. He's the joker. He's the sleight of hand. He's a sleazeball. I love Lane Kiffin. Give me Mississippi minus 11.5 at home. UCF 7-2, number 22 in the nation, going to Tulane 8-1. This is a 2:30 game also, or 3:30 game also. Tulane minus 1.5, over and under 54.5. Sid Dog, who do you have in this game?
So I just think it's Tulane. The defense is good. You get to this point in the season and you kind of just I don't believe in. I saw Plumlee go into ECU and just be crap. To me, it's Tulane. It's just been Tulane, and it'll be Tulane on Saturday.
I love it. I love
it. And I said it last week with Georgia. Defense. I don't care if you think you're from Star Trek like Tennessee and you think you got the greatest offense, but Tulane, they're going to hit you in the mouth. They're going to shut down what you do. They've seen the dual threat quarterbacks. They beat Kansas State. Tulane, I've already got a lay on the board with Tulane on it, and it pretty much if they hit, then I'm going to score really big. So I'm on Tulane.
I love it. I want Tulane minus 1.5 also. Tony, what do you have?
I give a lot of props to Tulane because who the hell saw this coming? Am I right? They were 2-10 last year, 7-1, 8-1 this year. I give them the props. It's tricky to cap the game in my opinion because on paper they're both pretty evenly matched. Statistical if you just look at the numbers. I know Plumlee is still questionable. He got knocked out 2 weeks ago against Cincinnati. He didn't play last week. I think it'll definitely be a fun game. I'm just going to watch and enjoy it. I don't know which side to really go with.
Feet to the fire. Feet to the fire. Give me a pick.
Do it.
I'm going against the grain. Give me UCF if Plumlee doesn't play.
I love it. Hey, we got Washington. Number 25, Washington 7-2. This is a night game at Oregon. Oregon is number 6 in the nation, 8-1. Oregon is giving 13.5 at night in Oregon. Here's where I go. I just don't believe in it. I don't like it at all. The over and under is 72.5.
Yeah.
I like a backdoor cover. Give me Washington plus 13.5. Tony, what do you got?
Oregon's secondary is pretty sad. They give up 275 yards a game, and Washington averages the most passing yards per game in the country. But Washington's a little too one-dimensional for me. Their running game is non-existent, and I mean Oregon has absolutely dominated this fucking series over the last decade plus. The favorite is 15-2 against the spread. The Huskies are 1-7 against the spread the last 8 in Eugene. 2-14 against the spread the last 16 meetings, the Huskies, and they're also 1-7 against the spread the last 8 games in general. I say don't be afraid to lay the number. Oregon, I think Oregon's going to look to win big and get some style points here as the season starts to close. Yeah. I expect them to win by at least 20.
They need it. Sit Dog, who you got in this game? You got Oregon minus 13.5, or you gonna take the points to take Washington?
I think Oregon will win. I don't know about laying the points, but I mean, I'm kind of where everybody else is right now with the Pac-12. Does it matter? It probably doesn't.
Yeah.
It just is what it is.
I'm with you. Well, let's move on to Georgia, Mississippi State. I mean, if you get a chance to listen to some of Mike Leach's interviews, you really need to. He talks about the little fat girlfriends and drinking Kool-Aid under the tree. And I mean, he's hilarious. I love the guy. I really do. Number 1, Georgia 9-0. After beating Tennessee soundly, doing what we thought that they were going to do, they go to Mississippi State now at a night game. You think they have a hangover? because they're favored by 16.5 right now. Do you take Georgia minus 16.5, or you give Leach 16.5? Tony, what do you got?
I'm gonna keep it short and sweet on this one. I mean, we've been saying it all year. You guys have been saying it a lot more than me. How the Bulldogs are the second coming of Jesus, and I agree. They're the clear-cut best team in the country.
Yeah.
But you know what else? Sit Dog mentioned this to me. I've heard it a lot from him this year, and I've seen it work for him. A road night SEC game is a tough place, and it's no joke.
Thank you.
I think it's too many points. Give me Mississippi State plus 16.5. I think the spread should be in the 10 to 14 range, probably.
I think Georgia goes up by 21-28 at halftime. They put the brakes on, try to control it. There's going to be too many cowbells at Mississippi State. If you've never been there, it's the most annoying stadium with the fucking cowbells. But give me the cowbells, Mike Leach, figure out a way to cover 16.5. Georgia wins, Mississippi State covers. Sit Dog, what you got?
16.5 SEC night game. You guys know my philosophy here.
I love it.
It's just too many points.
I love it.
It's
All
just
right.
too many points.
Here it is. LSU pulled it off. 7-2. Now they're number 7 in the nation. Going to Arkansas, which Arkansas just hasn't looked well at all. They're 5-4. LSU is only given 3 at Arkansas. It's a noon game. What do you got, Sit Dog? Talk to me about LSU, Arkansas. You think LSU has a hangover? Sit. You with me?
Yeah. Am I up?
Yeah.
I like Arkansas here. I like Arkansas here in a letdown game with LSU. Arkansas doesn't do a lot of things good, but one thing that they do good is control the run. And if you can control the run against LSU, I think that their secondary here isn't as exposed as what most people think, because LSU just doesn't come out and throw the ball a lot. They're going to try to run it right at you. Well, Arkansas is not the team that you want to do that at. Arkansas is the team that you want to spread out and throw the ball around like a Tennessee offense or an Arkansas. So I like Arkansas to win. These two teams hate each other. This is an old Southwest Conference rivalry.
Yeah.
I can't explain to people that don't know, but if you do know, I can remember back in the Les Miles days when he had killer players. Arkansas would give them a run for their money. Arkansas will be ready to play Saturday. That's why it ain't 6, 7, 8, 9. Arkansas will be ready to play. I think Arkansas pulls it out at home at noon.
Okay.
Against LSU.
You know, that was my initial thought too. Easy letdown game for LSU. And then I looked at the numbers for the Razorbacks defense. I mean, they're 117th in total yards allowed, 129th in passing yards allowed, and give up over 30 points a game. I was high on Arkansas preseason, but they let me down. I think Brian Kelly's actually going to open it up for Jaden Daniels. I expect him to have a huge game all over, passing and running. Tigers are the hot hand. I'm going to ride the hot hand. Give me the Tigers -3.
Here's where Kelly is one of the best at. This is where it's at. They can still make the playoffs. Some things can happen. They can still make the playoffs if you look at it, and he knows it, and his team's buying in, and this is where he's really good. He's not going to skip a step. His players believe in him. They've bought in. This is where he's really good. Give me LSU, about 14, maybe 15 points. I like LSU in this spot. Big statement game, another statement game. He's going to let the whole world know we are for real. So when you start picking who the Final Four is, we are here. We have beat the good ones. I don't like that guy. We got K-State number 19. Number 19, they're 6-3 going to Baylor, which Baylor, if they would have got their head out of their ass early, Baylor could have been a lot. I mean, I think they're a lot better than 6-3. But we got K-State 6-3 going to Baylor. That's 6-3. Baylor's given 2.5 So we've got a Big 12 non-ranked team giving 2.5 to a Big 12 ranked team. Same record. Tony, let's start with you. You like the Big 12.
Oh, this one is simple, fellas. Kansas State is 9-4 straight up, 11-2 against the spread as dogs when they're dogs are 3 points of less. The road team in this matchup has covered 6 straight times. The underdog has covered 6 of the last 7. But you know what? I would never trust my fucking money on Adrian Martinez. Give me Baylor -2.5 at home. Stay hot at home.
Adrian Martinez is older than you are, Tony. Sit Dog, what do you got?
I kind of feel the same way as far as this game goes. I think Baylor wins. I think it'll be close. It wouldn't surprise me if Adrian Martinez pulls out another game like where he, I don't know. I've never seen anybody Jekyll and Hyde. I think he's on the books at Vegas. They lost to Tulane, then they turn around, they beat people that they shouldn't. I don't know. It's out there. You guys have said it all year. The Big 12 are cannibals. Who knows what'll happen? But it'll probably be close.
Here's the thing. Again, it's going to be cold. It's going to be windy. We don't like the cold down here. Tony's already said that. K-State's a little more used to it over there than we are in Waco. It's a night game. It's 7 o'clock game. Over and under is 53.5. I think it goes under. I think it's all run game. And I think Adrian Martinez has one of those games. And they not only cover the 2.5, but they win outright in Baylor. Sorry, Russell, but I'm taking K-State plus the 2.5. I'm going to start with you, Sid Dog, because you picked this game. We got number 15, North Carolina, 8-1. Oh, shoot, they're 8-1 against Wake Forest. And the RPO that takes forever, Wake Forest 6-3. Wake Forest is favored by 3.5 over the number 15 team in the nation, North Carolina. Sid Dog, kick it off, buddy.
Well, Sam Hartman's a returning ACC Player of the Year, but he also has 8 turnovers in his last 2 games. So I don't know what to say here. We could go. North Carolina's defense is probably one of the worst in the country as
the
well.
Over 77 also.
Yeah, maybe we should be looking at that. We're talking about these 2 teams and who the hell is going to win. I don't know. This could be like one of those games where
track meet.
Tristan says the over under is he's like we're going over 100. Maybe we do.
They did. This is the 2 teams that did last year. They ended at like 120.
I'm going to say this, Tony. I'm going to let you speak. If you have anything to say about this game, I'm going to let you. I'm going to say this right now. Take the first quarter over, take the first half over, and take the second half over, and then take the game over. That'll give you 1, 2, 3. That'll give you 4 wins right there, just on the over. I don't know who covers, and I really could give a shit less, but yeah, I'm liking the over in everything, Tony.
Wake Forest, they have fallen off the cliff the last 2 weeks, and it was upsetting because I like that team. I made a lot of money on them last year. This year, they've profited me a little bit. But they play better at home. Those last 2 games were on the road. They have won 13 of the last 15 straight up and 11-3 against the spread at home. The home team in this matchup is also 7-1 against the spread. But I just don't know if I could trust Wake right now. My best recommendation is take both quarterbacks, Hartman and Maine, over their passing yard prop and just sit back and enjoy the show.
There you go. And this is why everybody listening here, please go to coachescall.store, hit the menu button, join us on the Discord. Because we've got a lot of this. I mean, Sid Dog and Tony, they start just throwing out teasers and parlays and early in the week, preparing you for the weekend. But you're not going to get them unless you come to the Discord. Again, coachescall.store. Hit the menu button, click on the Discord, and come join. We'll welcome you with open arms. I do want to talk about one more game, guys, because I think it's important. This is, for me, the biggest hangover game of the weekend. This is where you'll see me probably put 4 or 5 or 6 units on it. I don't know how many, but this is going to happen. Number 20, Notre Dame, after a huge win that I called is now favored by, it just went up as I'm talking to 15.5, minus 15.5 at Navy. I'm going to put up probably a mortgage payment on Navy to cover 15.5 because Notre Dame is not that team. They did beat Clemson, but Clemson is freaking horrible.
Is this going to be similar to your App State bet earlier in the year?
It's pretty similar. Pretty similar. This is it. This is the hangover game. They turned water into wine in Notre Dame, and they drank all the wine up. Give me Navy plus 15.5. Tony, go ahead.
It's funny how you brought that up because under my best bets I have noted here, I have Navy plus 15.5 as well. And this is exactly what I wrote down. Letdown game for Notre Dame.
Love
The
it.
Irish style of bully ball won't work against Navy's rush defense. It's very underrated. They're only allowing 88 yards a game, which is seventh best rush defense in the nation. I like Navy plus 15 and plus 15.5 as well. It's already been 15.5 actually on my book.
And Bovada just changed from 15 to 15.5. Sid Dog, what do you think about this Navy Notre Dame game? My man Sit. He agrees with me. He agrees with me. What do you think? What do you think, Tristan? You like what I said or no?
I love it. I love everything about. I love upsets. So that's one thing I love about college football is the upsets. So speaking of upsets, let's talk about something.
Okay.
Well, you guys know I have principles and things.
What's
Okay,
that?
I don't know what he said, but anyway, I think this is going to be a year where we see a team that shouldn't even be in the college football playoffs, but not only are they not supposed to be there, they win it. I know everybody's talking about Georgia. It almost feels too obvious. It almost feels like it's free money. I think it's wide open, other than Georgia, because Alabama's not going to make it, right?
On the recap, Tristan, I actually said Ohio State beats Georgia in the national championship. On
Dude,
the recap we did on Tuesday.
I hope Ohio.
TCU can still make it. I think Tennessee's going to be in it no matter what. LSU has a chance. I mean,
Oregon, baby.
yeah, Oregon's got
Quack, quack.
So,
we don't
so
know.
is it official? Alabama's done. They're not in it.
No,
No,
there's
they-
still a chance.
No, there's still a chance. There's still a chance. There's still a chance.
That's
We
crazy,
got to
bro.
play it out. This is what I love about this time of year is we can sit here and debate and talk and give our 2 cents, and next week it's going to be completely freaking different. You just know
Throw everything we said out the window sometimes.
right? I'm
Yeah.
telling you, that's just the way it goes. Guys, I want to thank you. We're running out of time.
I got one more.
yeah.
Best bet of the week.
Go ahead.
Auburn minus 1.5 against the Aggies. I'm sorry, Coach. I like Cadillac's energy that he brought last week. They almost snuck out a win against Mississippi State. Auburn. I expect them to still roll over. It's only 1.5. Take Auburn big.
For everybody listening, this is Tony's last time on this podcast.
I had to
thank
throw
you.
it out there.
Sid Dog, I appreciate you coming on. Tony, thank you. Tristan, thank you. Donnie, hopefully you make it next time. Week 11, go join us on the Discord, Coachescall.store. Make sure you go to the Discord so you can catch all these guys, all the bets, everything we do. I am your coach, Coach Z. This is Coach Call. Sharp lines and stacking dimes. NCAA football pick'em show, week 11. I hope everybody cashes, and I'll see you at the ticket window. Good night, everybody.